Okay, hey everybody, here again with wonderful world of live video. Going to invite a few people real quick, and then we're going to be doing Solomon Grundy. Going to be interesting. um, Bear with me just a second. I'm going to save this because apparently it's going to kick me out for saving the turkey. There we go. Okay, cool. I'm going to share this on a page here, and then we are going to draw Solomon Grundy for the day. Okay. Finally! I wanted to pop this on real quick and just surprise everybody. This dude is really impressive. Great Golden Age villain. I really dig this guy, and I get to do a lot of the classic movie monster type of stuff, which I'm really into horror. So this is one of my things. I get to dress this all out and almost make him zombie-like. So very cool. I don't know if anybody will know that I'm on yet or not, because like I said, I didn't give any warning that I was doing it. I just did it. So if you're here, awesome. If you're not, that's what video's for. But no, if you don't know this character, check him out. He was a gangster that was killed, murdered, and came back to life. Very, very cool guy. Very interesting character to read. And he was basically the original Crow. He was murdered and he came back for vengeance. But, yep. That's the way he was done. So we're going to knock him out over here. A lot of people are going to be freaking out because it's going to be like, you went live and didn't tell us. Hey, Jason, thanks for joining, man. Yeah, I love this character, and I love the nursery rhyme behind him, too. I'm not going to do it, of course, but, yeah, feel free. And, you got to be careful with this guy so he doesn't look like a knockoff of the Hulk or go too far to where he's just, he looks like a big zombie running around. Because it's not, it is that he's a zombie, he is the undead, but the thing is, it's not a portrayal of a monster as much as the pure rage the character felt. He's more of a spirit than he is a monster per se. Because he's just a miserable soul is what he is. And that makes a big difference in regard to how he acts. But the whole raging thing is a big thing, But this guy has a lot of issues that a lot of people don't get from the comic. And you got to read the older stuff to understand. So do your research on him if you want to find out a great character to really grab the attention of. And to follow and check out and all that. This dude is awesome for that. Not to mention the fact that he's creepy as all get out. Primarily not because he's an undead character, which is just creepy within itself, but because of the mentality of the character that is living within this corpse, as it were. Very, very deep and nasty persona. And like I said, to me, he always looks like the way most people draw him. They either draw him too fancied up and too well kept, or they draw him up to where he looks like the Hulk um, raided a donut shop. You know, it's like the Hulk found Breaking Bad and busted one of their one of their outfits because he's pasty white. So, but this character is done very simply and can be done with a lot of finesse if you're careful with him in the way you do it. But you have to be willing to put in the time and the effort to make him really stand out the way he should. And a lot of people don't understand the character well enough to do that. But we're going to try today, as simple as I'm making this one, we're going to try and see if we can pull it off. We're going to see what we can do with it. Have a little fun. No, the reason I'm coming on a little bit later this afternoon is because of the fact that I had to tie up with GoDaddy, unfortunately. And they tried to take one of the domains that I was transferring and ran it over. They locked me up, and it was entrapment. And I'm not cool with that, and I exposed it. Not cool. They tried to rip me off, and I'm not happy with that. They set up a new system to where it automatically locks up your domain and changes your stuff to outdated defaults so that you have to update so they can lock you in as a renewal and get you for 2 months pending in their system. Not a cool way to go. If you need a registrar, let me know, and I'll hook you up with some really cool resources that of other services that I've used and have domains with them and never had a problem. But if you guys come across that, yeah, I was all about that today. So I spent most of my morning and my early afternoon handling a lot of that stuff. And I was not a happy camper. I finally told them I was going to take them up. I said, I will take you to the social front and we will complain. And I did. And I emailed them a copy of the post of the article that I put on my friend's timeline in my profile. I put it on my timeline and just for friends to keep it simple. And within 3 minutes of me sharing that with them, they had it unlocked, which they said they couldn't do because it was an ICANN situation, which they lied about, and then turned around and released it and let it go. Now I get to transfer it, and it's in the process of right now doing that. So, yeah. They tried to steal one of my domains, and I don't play that way. So, and not to brag about it or anything, because that's not why I said it. It's just, it held my day up. So, that's the only reason I mention it. But, now I get to hang out with you guys, and I get to draw this guy here. This gnarly little beastie right here. Mr. SOLOMON GRUNDY. So, yeah. Now, I'm trying to do a little more gradation and detail to my stuff. Because I mentioned that I would be doing that a lot more because people have been asking me, can you shade your stuff and make it a little less cartoony? I'm trying to evolve the style to where I can get finished pages done a lot easier. And since I do most of my own inking, it benefits me to go ahead and detail that out. But I do that in the inking stage out of habit. And I'm trying to get back into doing that for the penciling stage so I can give you guys more in-depth stuff to look at. So, I think that's pretty cool as far as this goes because he's pasty. I don't want to overwork it. And he's truly pasty. That's the thing. He is like bleached stark white. Yeah. So he's like Bela Lugosi, Transylvania Dracula white. It's like he's bleached. So, but anyway, hanging out here in the office, taking care of business and keeping everything, you know, calm and collected, and getting this all knocked out here so I can get back to these pages and get comics out there. So getting the work done. Very cool stuff. Now, I'm not detailing this hair like I normally would. I'm going to leave this open, more of a simple, you know, almost a Jim Lee style where it's got the layers, you know. I'm going to leave that open because of the fact that I want to make sure that this doesn't get overworked and old boy here keeps his white hair. Because he's not an albino. He is actually a guy that lost his skin pigment due to being buried, stabbed, hung, shot. What else was there? He was stabbed and shot and hung out, and just all kinds of stuff was done to him. Not a good time for him, I can guarantee you. So, let's see. Trying to get... Yeah, that looks all right. I like him to have the blunt eyes because of the fact that with him being, you know, pretty much just dead, I like to keep it simple and keep him blunt because there's not going to be any pigment to his eyes. It's going to be that crystal, you know, no color haze zombie look, and I want it to look that way whenever this is finished up here. So that's what we're going with. And I want to clear that line on his chin. And I'm going to put in the noose here. Going to cut in these binding segments here for the twist in the rope. Gotta be careful. Don't want to make them look like spider webs, you know, from Spider-Man stuff. I want them to actually look like rope. And I'll tell you, an easy lesson that I learned a long time ago from this, whenever you go in for rope, pick a spot and just cut the edge and just go for it. Round it out. Make sure they're pretty remotely close to the one before it. You can close them in just a little bit to change the angle and the direction. And then once you reach a point to where you can get them segmented all the way down and around, go ahead and start doing that so that you can get the rope to look like it's edged, like you're coming down for that. And it'll pull it all together for you and make it pop off. Now, I prefer the Golden Age Solomon Grundy. Of course, I'm drawing in a modern style, but I still prefer the Golden Age version of this character. There's just a lot more to him. He had a lot more charisma, believe it or not, even as a dead guy. So, and I know she's not watching this today, but my friend Perul, she had a little baby today. They had their son, and I wanted to say hello to her and put a shout out because she's going to want to watch this later. And she's on the other side of the globe. They're asleep right now, so I'm going to let them rest and whatnot. But tomorrow I'll be sure to give them a call up and let them know what's going on. But yep, she surprised everybody a little early with her son. I won't give out any more details than that other than the shout out that I promised. Love that young lady. Her and her family are great people. And she was an internet marketing student of mine and went on her own. And I tell you, she's crushing it. Unlike anything I've seen. She hit a bestseller list. She went into a couple of documentary films and just nailed it, man. I mean, she's just awesome. She's got the shine, the gift. So, just wanted to say hi to her real quick. But trying to make him look a little roughed because they put him in a suit that was too small. And when they buried him, when they murdered him, they had him in a suit that was too small, and did it as a joke because they tied him up, knocked him out, and put him in a suit that was too small for one thing, and they thought that was funny because he was a huge guy and he was supposed to be rather rather dopey, as it were. Put the edge of this shirt right here, kind of black that out. Now the reason I put the shading in on the neck there is because it's going to be a kind of a gradation thing when I color it. It'll be discolored because of the rope burn. That's going to be kind of a scar. That's why it goes up here odd like that, where they hung him. That's going to be where they drug the rope on him, pulled it up under his neck, and then we're going to have that problem of the actual, rope marks up here, which will change direction just a little. And that was for that scar. But we're going to draw in this suit here. Very large, bulky guy. Good question, Damien. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Do I license my work for T-shirts? No, I can't license any of this because these characters aren't mine. But I do commissions for T-shirts. Yeah, no problem. I do commission designs for T-shirts. What I do is I do custom designs for the client, and I'll draw you whatever you want. And as long as it's copyright approved, then you're good to go. I mean, if you want an original design for a T-shirt set, yeah, that's not a problem, man. I can do that. But we just can't do it for retail purposes because of the fact that if I remanufacture these out of this original form, then it's not my artwork; it's a reproduction, and that's where legalities come in. So if you want to, go ahead and message me about that, and I'll hook you up with whatever you need. If not, I'll hook you up in the right direction to get with the people that can do that for you, depending on what you need, man. But unfortunately, with these cards like this, I can't. I can do the original, but I can't sell the reproductions because that goes into copyright infringement at that point. That's why I don't do prints. However, I will have something coming up with these, which I do have legal right to do here later. And once the collection gets big enough, I will be doing a couple of things with these. But like I said, it's very limited in what I can do because I can't go into different property markers and all that because it's not my stuff. That's unfortunate, but it is not my stuff to sell, so I don't. Yeah, not mine, not mine, not mine. But I'm open to working with commercial pieces. Yeah, not a problem. Because I've designed everything from book covers to comic characters for clients to T-shirts to I've done a couple of tattoos, which is strange. I used to do a few of those when I was younger, but seeing some of my other stuff turned into tattoos always shocks me because I'm like, you really want that as a tattoo? It's stuck. That's permanent. But to each their own. People will do some amazing stuff. Yep. Now to offset those those scar marks. I'm going to put this under the ridge here of that eye, where you can see that ridge right there underneath the eyebrow, which is right there. On this eye, you can't see that because it's down low because he tilts. But yeah, we can do that as a gradation. And right here under his nose, I can put a little bit of one to make him pop off a little bit more. I just don't want to get too... I have a mixed style and I have a lot of influences, and I don't want to start mimicking them because that doesn't make my stuff look good when I start looking like I'm cloning people. And it's, I mean, if it's obvious, then that's a problem. Because I don't want to look like I'm ripping anybody's style. Because I'm not. It's my work, dang it, I did it. Throw my Herman Munster tantrum there. Just, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Because I hear all the time that I have a style that looks reminiscent of, you know, Joe Modiara sometimes, and then in the cartoonier stuff. And then when I go over detailed like this, you know, people say it looks like Greg Capullo a little bit. And, you know, I mean, that's a huge compliment because those guys are great influences on me. I hear I've got to look like Art Thibert sometimes. And, you know, that's pretty cool, too, because that dude's awesome. But I'm not looking to go after anybody else's style. I want to, you know, have my own signature move. So, in the wrestling world of comic books, as it were. So, I'm going to go over here. Now, I know I'm covering a big chunk of this, but I'm going to go over here with this sleeve right here. I'll pull this other lamp over so I can see. Hey, there's light. I'm going to pull up this suit here, and I'm going to put a ridge like that, because there's a big thing with this going on where there's a shredding of the suit here, like that. Now I'll put that shadow line up underneath there and cut that bad boy in so it'll look like the fabric is standing up a little bit. And what I'm going to do on this side is I'm going to go in and put that little bit of lip from the shirt, so you guys will be able to see that. And then I'm going to put this spike right here. I know it kind of looks like a katana from a distance, but it's not. It's actually a pipe-end spike. It's like a broken pipe. And it was off of like a rail kind of thing is what I envisioned it. And then a little butcher knife here. Not necessarily a cleaver, just a thicker knife. Going into the back right there. And these are bullet holes. Yes, they are bullet holes. And at this angle, it would be, you know, he was shot straight on, so at this angle, it would be different. Now I've got to go in and put in some definition to this here rope. Because this is not a smooth textured object. I'm going to kind of scribble that in a little bit and just add in some texture. It's pretty cool. Let's see. After I do that, go over here and do the other side so it doesn't look like cable. I'm going to add a shading right there on this side. Just a little bit to make it pop up. And I might go back and detail that out a little more, which that's looking really good. I think I will. Let's see. Oh yeah, that actually looks better. I'll do that. Go ahead and black that out a little. Leave a small highlight on the underside. Yay, us. We have rope. It's a miracle. He's alive. Okay. Now I'm going to go add a shadow or two into this. Oh. I'm getting rid of some of these. Getting rid of some of these pop-ups. Sorry about that. Everybody's chiming in on me now. Remember how I said in the beginning, if you saw when I logged on, I said that I went on without announcing. So a lot of people are going to be ticked off and freaking out because of the fact that I didn't allow time to let them get on. I just went. So they're going to be like, hey! So it's going to be fun to see how people react. Now I'm just segmenting this rope just a little as it goes around here. And it's going to be stretched out a little different this way because when it clutches like this, it looks different because it's a different tension as it wraps around. So it's going to be a little bit different in look in comparison to the other knots. I'll put them down here on the bottom for that shading, and I just wanted to shade that one major side right there to add a kind of a drop shadow for the heavy light and the heavy shadow, because the light's coming down this way, so that's why we have on there, on there, and on there. So boom, that way. That's why he gets his hairline shaded pretty well. And we're going to add a little bit of definition underneath this crunched brow here. Kind of shadow that in. And I didn't want to black out that lip, but I think I'm gonna, just for sake of argument, because it'll make the teeth pop out a little more. So when I'm drawing these things, you know, I don't think about the mechanics as much, unless I'm talking about it for like you guys. But I'm trying to learn to push, and like I said, expand on that a little bit and put out a little more reach for the finished product. Because I keep getting asked all the time, you know, will you consider doing a little less animated and a little more finished comic detail? And the answer is yes, I will. I can do it. I can. Now the reason I'm going to put in this patch right here is because I'm going to make it kind of a scruffy burn mark type of look, like the suit's been, you know, water drenched or damaged or maybe even burned and scorched up just a little bit. I'm not going to go full on and color this out because I don't want to ruin the classic blue suit that he has. I want to be able to color that to make it really pop. And that's going to be shirt there. That's going to be suit right there. So we're going to put a ripple for a fold right there and make that really come up. And then we'll shadow this side because it's where it's ripped up. And then we'll come in on this side, color that out like that. And with his contrast of his white skin, this will be really, really neat. And like I said, I want to shade it from this angle so that it looks like it's been just torn to Hades and back. Put a couple marks there. But I don't do, you know, heavy black shading. It's just not my thing. But in this case, like I said, in this case, it's going to be a little different. Excuse my Captain Kirking it with my talking, because I'm thinking about how I want to design this shade. Because I didn't map it out, and I'm doing this on the fly. Normally I map out the shading for the light. Yeah, that looks okay. Just don't want it to get overdone and get weird. I'm going to put a heavy line back here for the shade of this jacket against that shirt. And then again, I'll come down here and do another shade block right down here. Okay. Gonna put a little bit of shadow down under that collar from that side, so you guys will be able to see it come up a little bit. And I know I'm covering up the card here. Sorry about that. That being the dark side over there, we're going to want this to break up into a light gradation. And then down here, we're going to have a black spot. Now the side of this collar is going to be blacked out over here. And we'll go right down on the top there. Yeah, I want it to go back this way to match up. I'm going off the edge of this card here, just trying not to snag it and fold it back. That would just suck if I creased it. Okay, cool deal. Now I'll do this other shoulder. It's more of the neck muscles. It's more that hunkered look that he's got. It's almost a hunchback type of thing. And back here it would go off like this in the opposing shade and direction. Gonna make that knife a little dark down there. And this pipe over here, because the light's going down this direction, it would be right back here, like that. You know, a lot of people ask me, you know, all the time, I get questions about, you know, do you do any heavy detail work? No, never. There we go. Hey, Alfred, glad you made it, man. So this doesn't look so sketchy. I'm going to finish this a little more on this side right here. Clean that up a little. Add a little pop off to that one side. And And because of our light source, it would go on this side of this one. All right. That's where we're at, folks. I think that's going to be Solomon. I hope you dig it. I know it's a fun one for me. Let me see what I've got on the list for tomorrow. I have... Oh, really? I'd forgotten this one was next. I have the Black Panther. And I'm not sure if I'll do the classic Black Panther or if I'll do the suit. The new suit or not. But we'll go from there. And then I've got some cool stuff from different variations. I'm going to be doing some animation stuff. So you guys will be able to check that out. Some classic animation from the 80s. And then I've got some stuff from the 60s as well. Hanna-Barbera type stuff. I love those heroes. And I'm going to start knocking a few of them out as well. But yeah, hang around for the Black Panther tomorrow. It will be our Happy Friday. And also, let's put it this way. I'll do anybody that likes tomorrow. I'm going to take Jim. Hey, there's my buddy Jim. He just popped on. I was fixing to say, I'm going to take Jim O'Reilly's Time Tuesday method. And what I'm going to do is for anybody that stays on tomorrow and post a like and post Black Panther in the comments, I will draw their name at random and give them a full-size 8.5 by 11 custom sketch that I will do live for the winner, and I will mail it out to them, no problem, autographed, signed, and you guys will have it. I'll draw it, pencil it, ink it, and probably color it up and send it out for you guys. I'm going to try something new with that one tomorrow. I want to give something away just to give back a little bit for all the support that I've gotten. And Jim inspired me for that idea. So what I'm going to do is do a giveaway. And like I said, I'll draw a full 8.5 by 11 Black Panther for the winner. Tomorrow, share, spread the word, tell your friends, be here for Black Panther, or don't tell anybody so you'll have a better chance of winning. Whatever works. But yeah, anybody that pays attention tomorrow, I will make a randomizer draw and do that. And I'm going to start doing that on Fridays for you guys as well as the special card. So whatever character I draw on a following Friday from now on is going to have an 8.5 by 11 special winner too that I will happily mail it out to them as a special bonus. I'm going to give you a heads up a couple of days before I do that. So, you know, in the following weeks to come. But as of right now, Solomon Grundy today, thanks for hanging out with me. I so appreciate it as always. Catch you guys later.